Hi, welcome to Set Up and Score. My name is Leigh Simons. I'm the Head of Customer Success at ScoreApp. Thank you very much for joining us today. In this session, we will run through creating a scorecard from the very beginning. So coming up with the idea for the scorecard, then we'll go through how to build it on the platform, and then we'll follow up with talking about how to promote it and what to do once leads start to take your scorecards. I have got my colleague with me today. Sarah's just giving you a wave. So if anyone's got any questions that they want to ask throughout, please feel free to do so in the chat. And I'll also leave an opportunity for questions at the end as well. While we're just giving a few more minutes, just in case we've got other people joining us, would you mind just popping in the chat just a few words just to let me know where you are in the process right now? Have you not started? Have you built your first one? Are you building? Have you launched? And then that just gives us an opportunity to say hello to everybody and also get a really good feel for where everybody is at the moment. So don't worry, whatever words you can use to describe, brilliant. Hi, Eric, you're joining us today. Welcome back. Launch to a small group of people to get some feedback. I hope that's been constructive, and let us know if you need any more support with that. Hi, Jane. You've built your first score app, but it's still in draft. Excellent. So that's a good time just to come onto this session and just to sense check everything through. Hi, David. Very early days, just started looking at it. Also a great time to join. Welcome, David. Hirsch, you're building your first quiz, struggling with some results elements. Hopefully, when we get to the results section, we'll be able to answer those. And if we don't, just please feel free to ask the question at the end. Okay, so thank you for those. Let's jump into the platform. So I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, we just got one more coming through, a couple more actually. I think I was too quick. So I'll just say hi to Barbara. You haven't started yet. It's the beginning of your business journey, and I want to watch this. I have this opportunity. Okay, so we're going to talk about creating a scorecard, a wait list, which is a really good idea in the early stages of a business. So listen out for when we get to that particular bit. And we've got Martin's. Welcome, you've built your first one. It's not finished yet. You just need to optimize the results and build the PDF. Okay, so you're halfway through the process. Fantastic. Donna, you worked with someone who uses ScoreApp, and another friend recommended for my sleep business. Okay, so you've had these recommendations. You're having a look, which is fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Just got a few slides, and then we're going to dive into the platform. So the first one is that I really wanted to mention some potential use cases for scorecards that you could develop within your business. Everything that we're going to talk about today is based on building a scorecard for lead generation purposes. But we do have lots of customers who use them within their business for qualifying leads, so onboarding customers, measuring customer satisfaction. So yeah, just bear those in mind just in case it sparks any other potential uses as we go throughout today's session. Now, these are the 4 things that we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to focus on building a high converting landing page for your quiz. Then we'll look at the questions, just explain how the scoring works and the logic, followed by looking at how the results are delivered, making sure they deliver all your value. And then finally, we're going to cover the promotional ideas and also the follow-up techniques as well. So I get asked all the time what makes a successful scorecard. And the number 1 on the list is getting the concept right for the scorecard. So that's the idea on which the scorecard is based upon. And best practice for this is to really align it with the common goal of your target audience. So for example, if I was a career coach and I helped my target audience to advance their career, I could create the career advancement scorecard, and therefore it's a useful, valuable resource for my target audience. They're going to take the quiz, they're going to get clarity on how ready they are for the next career move, and then they're going to get tailored hints and tips that's going to help them continue to reach that goal of going for their next career move. So that leads into point 2. It needs to offer value to your target audience. And in exchange, obviously, it will offer value for yourself because you're going to be generating data to get to know your target audience. You're going to be able to qualify, and you're going to be able to personalize that the way that you follow up with them. So for example, if someone's scored low in a particular area, you can then target the right product, the right solution at the right person. Now, all of those things are obviously related to the scorecard itself, but for it to be successful, we do need that strategy in place to drive traffic towards the scorecard. And then we do need to obviously have a follow-up process in place that we can convert all of that responses into sales. So let's start looking at the concept. And if you've started building it, this might just help sensor check that you've got the right concept. If you're at the very beginning, obviously it's going to be a great sort of brainstorming that's going to flesh out some potential ideas. So the concept is the idea that the scorecard is based upon. It might not necessarily be the headline, because then we need to develop a headline that's a real hook that captivates your target audience attention. It's clear what it is, how it's going to help them, and who it's for. So there's a number of ways I wanted to run through that will start to brainstorm these potential headlines. Now, the first is going back to that desire or goal. So the one where I mentioned we could create the career advancement scorecard. Now, the example you can see on the screen is the key person of influence scorecard, where the desire there is to be a key person of influence. So it could just work that if you think about that desire or goal that your target audience have, you could then just tag the name scorecard on the end. And it doesn't have to be scorecard, because that's our terminology. We see quiz, we see assessment, could be checklist, blueprint. We see these words frequently. So it's really thinking about which one's going to resonate the most with your target audience. Now, we could flip that and focus on the pain or the frustration, and that can really help us to get that hook in terms of a headline. So you can see on screen here, we've got the avoid being hacked scorecard. So it's still built on that desire to have that safe and secure network, but as a headline, that really does stand out and captivate your attention. Now, method number 3 is to ask a question. Are you ready to? And you can fill in the blanks here. So it works with a lot of different industries and examples. So if I go back to my career coach, are you ready for your next career move? Take the scorecard. If I was coming at it from a health and fitness coach angle, are you ready to get fit and healthy? Take the scorecard. So yeah, have a think about that one. See if that one could apply to your concept. Now, the fourth one is that your concept might be topical or seasonal. So you might be now thinking about producing a scorecard for 2025. So that might drive the concept. There might be something trending or newsworthy, or so just some seasonal tactical campaign that you're running within your business. Finally, I wanted to mention that we have got the ability to create highest scoring category or personality style quizzes. So you don't have to necessarily give people a score at the end. You can give them an outcome. So an example of that would be discover whether you are an introvert or an extrovert. So they'll find out at the end which one they most likely connected to, and then you can tailor all your advice and call to actions to suit their personality style. So we're going to look at now, actually, we're going to go back to the chat, and I just wondered if you'd be happy to share your thoughts on the concept for your scorecard at this time. So if you've already developed it, then it could just be the headline or an idea of the headline, and then I'm going to be able to give you some feedback and hopefully some suggestions as well. Oh, Mark, I can see. Is that a real background for you? Are you? Oh my goodness, that's amazing. It's like tropical, sunny. Oh, very jealous. Okay, so just wait a few moments for those to come through. If you haven't quite got there with your concept yet, just maybe tell us a little bit about what you do, and we might be able to give you some ideas from there. Okay, Eric. Oh, you've changed yours from last week. So over 40, how ready are you to start your weight loss journey? So you're wanting to be more targeted. You've brought in the target audience over 40. How ready are you to start your weight loss journey? I like it. I wonder, I think definitely, and I can't remember, so apologies, but in that subheading, there's so many like ultimate goals we can mention in there, like the weight loss journey to increase your confidence, make you feel better, help you with aging, all of those things. But yeah, really good concept. So Hirsch, Mine is personal branding quiz, and my concept is, do you love the brand in the mirror? I really like that play on the words. I think that's really nice. My advice would be, when your target audience get to your landing page, you want them to think, oh, this sounds perfect. Sounds exactly what I need. So in your subheading, really bring out what having this great brand does. Answer these questions to discover how strong your brand is, and increase your visibility, sales, and so forth. So David, equity release, is it for me? Take our quiz and see. Okay. Oh, that rhymes. That's good. So the equity release, is it for me? I think my advice there would be, don't assume that everybody knows what that is. So being even super, could equity release give you the retirement of your dreams? Linking it to that goal, take our quiz and see. That would be my advice. So Eric, you're just confirming your subheadline, discover how to achieve your dream weight, size and shape. Yeah, I think that's really nice. Yeah, that's nice and clear. Thank you. Mark, mine is an assessment about readiness to break into tech sales. Okay, so is this like individually as a career or company-wise? I would just think about your target audience, what goal they're trying to achieve, what's going to be valuable content, and helping you to guide you along with that one. Phil, your concept, how ready are you to visualize your framework for being quickly understood and remembered? So is that in terms of profile, your own personal profile? So again, we need to be like really clear. So if it is, are you ready to increase your personal profile? Are you ready to increase your personal visibility and impact? Take this scorecard. Yeah, so just a bit of clarification on the target audience for that one. Barbara, I'm a life coach, have a written course, and I want people to qualify and join. Okay, so with your life coaching, obviously, what is it that you have a written course and you want people to qualify and join? So we need to think about what you're helping them there to achieve. So is it life coaching confidence? Is it life coach? We like narrowing that down will allow us to really then get that concept and that headline that we need. So Martins, you run an home care company. You started yesterday and got feedback. Let me just see that the landing page was too wordy, which I agreed, and I have reworked it to see the link. Are you Sarah? Do you know? Have you Martins? Yeah, he's nodding. So when we come through, I'm going to ask for anyone to share examples, so I can have a look at that one when we get to that stage and give you some feedback as well. Adele, I'm completely new to business and marketing. I'm here for learning. Okay, so you're not ready for your website services. You offer software consultancy and software development services. So what we recommend, even before you've got your business, is that you could use one of our waitlist templates. That then allows you to qualify and understand the potential market opportunity. So for example, if you use our waitlist template, you could be join the waitlist for a new software development solution. Sorry, I don't know much about software development. This new groundbreaking technology. And you could even bring in a bonus. So, the first 20 people will benefit from X, Y, and that way you're really starting to build up a potential target audience, understand them, and you can go out to that list then once you are ready. And it's even going to help you to shape that product and service as well. So Donata, apologies, I've said that wrong. You're a certified sleep science coach and certified stress management coach. So you were thinking of creating a sleep and stress assessment. And are you busy or productive leader, and how it can affect your bottom line? Yeah, I really like both of those. It could be 3, couldn't it? You could have take the stress management quiz, or even if it was something along the lines of discover your stress score so people can see how stressed they are. And the same with the sleep. Are you ready to discover your sleep quality? Something along those lines. Great concepts. And I like the leader one as well. Jane, find your perfect cruise companion so you can cruise with confidence and trust. Yeah, I like that one. It's going to offer value to your target audience. They're going to get something from it at the end. They're going to get some recommendations, which is a nice. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing those. Some great concepts. So now we're going to dive into the platform and we are going to talk about getting started. So when you click on create a scorecard, you're going to be presented with 3 options. Starting from scratch is great if you've got a clear idea of the questions that you want to ask. So you can start everything, the landing page, input the questions, write your own results. I quite like to do it this way and have that complete freedom. Obviously got the benefit of a designer as well to help me with that aspect of things. And I will quite often use an AI tool such as ChatGPT to help guide and steer me in terms of the content when I'm creating it from scratch. Picking a template, I would advise you to have a look through the template library. So we've got loads of different to suit different industries, to suit different use cases. There might be one that's closely linked with what you are doing. You will also find there's some other great templates here. So I've mentioned the waitlist, you'll find them here. And we've just launched these mini course templates, which are great for adding value and lead generation. So you could run, you're advertising a free mini course. It's packaged into a scorecard. So you can ask a few questions just to get to understand your target audience a bit more. And then you can deliver the mini course on the results page, map across all the information into your CRM to plan some follow-up sequences. So that can be a really nice way of adding some value to your target audience. You will also find in here templates such as book your one-to-one strategy session, pre-register for the book. Would you like to join the discussion? These are our 2 waitlist templates. So there's industry specific and then just other potential useful scorecards that you could use within your business within this library as well. All of them are fully customizable. So if you like the look of one, you can change everything, sort of the colors, the content, the imagery, but that can be a nice quick way of getting a scorecard up and running. The third option is to use the AI setup wizard. So this is great if you just want an extra steer on helping you to get that concept, helping you to write the question. So I am going to demo this and it just takes a couple of minutes to demo. Obviously, it will take you a little bit longer, but we're going to say that we want to generate new leads. You can then choose whether your scorecard is going to deliver 1 overall score at the end. So it might be how ready for your next career move. You're 50% ready, so you've still got some work to do. Here's what we recommend. The single outcome is great if you're doing that personality or outcome style. So if it was discover your budgeting personality style, you're going to discover in this one whether you're a strict budgeter or a relaxed budgeter. And then the multiple scores is great when you want to add some categories so people can start to go, okay, I am doing really well here, but I need to work on this particular area. So I'm going to choose multiple scores. I'm going to say that I'm a fitness coach. And then it asks me to describe my target audience. So you can click on more suggestions. You can enter your own. I'm just going to say busy professionals. Then you will enter what you help your target audience to achieve, which is, I'm just going to say improve work-life balance. Again, you can enter your own. Once you've done that, it's going to actually suggest concepts for your scorecard, which it will use as a headline, and it can be edited once it's been created. So my suggestion is to pick the strongest one. I'm going to say stress-free success assessment. So great, we've got our concept now, and it's going to suggest categories because I chose that multiple scores option. So sleep, exercise, stress, they seem good categories. I'm going to select those. And then we can start to select questions. So you're going to spend longer reviewing these questions. You're going to pick the strongest questions. They can be edited once it's been created, removed. You can add questions. So they don't have to be final. It's nice to get them close. But yes, you can edit them once it's been created. So once you've selected your questions, you're going to get this nice summary of everything. You can click on create my scorecard and it will just take a few moments, and then you will have your first scorecard populated within your account. Now, whichever way you have chosen to develop your scorecard, if you've started from scratch, if you've chosen a template, everything that we go through now will be relevant to any method. So a lot of where we're going to be working at this stage is in the build icon. So I'm going to select the build icon, and then we've got a list and an expanded list by clicking on settings. We're going to start at the top, which is the landing page. Now, this is the page that you will drive traffic towards. So we want it to have all these best practice elements so that when your target audience get there, they're like, this sounds fantastic, this sounds perfect. They know exactly how it works, what they're going to get, how it's going to help them. Now, if I open up the editor to have a look at what the AI developed for us, we can see that it's added the title that I selected. It will always have a blue background and it will choose a relevant image. So what we need to do, this is given us a very basic structure, and we now need to develop it and make this look and sound fantastic. And I'm going to show you a page on our website, scoreapp.com, that's got some live examples in here where you can see what it can look like. So I'm going to use this one as an example. So already you can see the look and the feel of this. The branding looks great. It's got some lovely imagery. It's got lots of valuable content and different sections. So just thinking about that AI version to this version, this is the direction that we want to be moving in to get it to look like something like this. I'm going to talk through best practice elements, things that I really like about this that I would recommend that you include on your landing pages. First of all, I like the headline. This is a personality outcome style quiz. We know that we're going to discover what our unique dosha composition, which is going to be one of these three. In the subheading, I always like to see what I call links to the ultimate prizes. So in the headline, I like to see the goal that it's helping people to achieve. In the subheadline, all the ultimate benefits of reaching that goal. And in this case, they can then make the best natural food and lifestyle choices for healing, reversing aging, and preventing illness. The next section really then starts to set the scene, talk about the importance of the dosha composition and link it to how the quiz works. So it's building that credibility. The next section I really like, called How It Works, and it breaks it down into 3 steps. So people can see that the first step is going to take the questions. The second step is that they're going to get their score or their outcome. And then this third step is that they're going to get their tailored advice, hints, and tips. This section, this image is great. This is showcasing the results page. So even though we're telling people what they get, just using an image to show people, they can go, okay, yep, this is what I'm going to get at the end. I can see I'm going to get lots of great information. I'm going to see what my profile is, and a nice strong call to action. Get personalized, natural remedies you can use today. And then we've got the final section here with the sign up form included. So this is a good example. I'm going to talk through one more example here at the bottom, which is a B2B example. Again, the look, the colors, the styling looks great on this particular example as well. Now, this is called the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment. The headline's super clear. Are you looking to grow, exit, or sell your business? In the subheading, we spoke about thinking about those ultimate prizes. And in this case, for this target audience, the ultimate prize is to scale that business rapidly and then obviously make sure that they achieve a very successful exit. We're also telling people how long it takes. So it's just going to take a few minutes and you're going to receive an instant PDF report with tailored advice to your situation. So tell people how long it takes. It could be in terms of times, it could be a number of questions, and you're telling people what they're going to get at the end. So the CFO Centre has been helping businesses thrive since 2021. This starts to build credibility. So if people think, okay, this sounds good, who's developed it? Information such as that, it could be testimonials, it could be customers that you've worked with, it could be their logos, it could be an About Us section and why we've created this quiz. So think about it in terms of credibility. We then have another great image showing what you're going to get at the end. In this case, it's going to be the PDF report, and it's going to be the opportunity to book a 60-minute scale up and exit strategy section. Now, this is similar to what we saw in the first example in terms of information to set the scene, talking about how the assessment works. So you're going to answer 23 questions. It's also expanding on those ultimate prizes, which is scaling rapidly, increasing the cash flow, the profit, the valuation, and then successfully exiting. So it goes on to talk about the categories that the score is measured against and more credibility pieces, so information about them. What both of those landing pages do are they focus on the value in taking the quiz. So it's all about what's in it for me, how is it going to help me, and it's based on valuable content that I want to consume. So now we've gone through those examples, has anyone got a landing page they want to share? I think we had one, didn't we, earlier on? So I'm hopefully going to be able to bring that up. Yes. So it was Martin's. I'm going to click on that link, and then I'm just going to share my screen again. Okay, so I need to keep that. Here we go. So discover your ideal home care plan in under 5 minutes. Ready to find the perfect care solution? Take our quick, free home care assessment quiz to get instant personalized insights tailored to your needs or those of your loved ones. So just from this initial section, I'm thinking about the ultimate reasons. And obviously it's bringing in maybe that emotion that you want your loved ones to have the best possible care, and planning in advance is important, and getting all that knowledge and information. So it's fast, less than 5 minutes. We're going to talk about time. If it is a really cold lead scorecard, we would recommend approximately 12 questions, and in terms of time frame, 2 to 3 minutes. Now that is just a guide, because depending on the concept, depending on your target audience, you want to ensure you deliver those values. So it's just bearing that in mind, especially if you're at the feedback stage, just to see if people are managing to stay engaged throughout that time. So it's 100% free, receive custom results immediately. Bonus, get a free copy of your personalized care plan. Start now for peace of mind. So that all sounds like a really nice sort of compelling, value-focused messaging. So you've got your credibility piece here, which is great. And then you've got why take our free quiz. Make sure we're staying, maybe just in terms of hour, we're using that same terminology throughout. Are you concerned about daily challenges like mobility, personal care, or safety at home? Maybe you're feeling uncertain about what kind of assistance would make life easier. But you'll be equipped with the knowledge and tools to make informed decisions. It's not just about making big changes, it's about finding small, meaningful solutions that can help you. So that's lovely. That's the content that I thought was important at the top. You may want to put some of that messaging into the subheading up here. So you're going to gain clarity, feel empowered, no pressure, just guidance. Yeah, that's really nice. What areas does the quiz cover? So is this the shortened version, or is this the longer version? Just going to, I think Martin's just typing. So I'll check back in a minute. So we've got, so if you were thinking to shorten it, this is a potential area that you could possibly just mention in the text as labels. That would be my advice. We've got a how it works section. Take the quiz, answer a few quick questions about your care needs. Step 2, get your free personalized report. Step 3, explore your options. So if they are getting the PDF or the results, it's great to be able to show that, like the images in the examples where you're snapshotting a bit of the results page. I think that would be nice to do here. Step 3, no obligations, no pressure. Use the report to make informed choices about the care that is right for you. If you would like, we are here to help you. Yeah, I think that sounds nice. Who is this quiz for? Are you worried about your loved ones? Want to stay independent? Are a family caregiver? About our loved ones. Yep. So I think that's nice, and because there are in this particular concept multiple parties that could be doing this. It could be the individual, it could be their family. So I think that's nice to say who's that for. take the first step, whether you're ready to arrange home care or just our free quiz. Yep, that's maybe a bit of a repetitive section, so I would recommend taking that out. And then we want a nice strong final call to action. Take charge of your care journey today. You deserve to feel safe and confident about the care of your loved one. Let us help you take the first step with our free personalized home care assessment. Yep, I think that's a good landing page. I agree. I think it's slightly too long. So there's a couple of sections that we've identified that we could take out there. But yeah, and I think just adding some images of what they're getting at the end is going to be my advice for this one. But yeah, well done. Okay, let's see if anybody else wants to share their link. Yes, we've got one more. So Rick, I'm going to bring up yours and then we will share my screen. Okay, so this one is over 40. How ready are you to kickstart your weight loss journey? Discover how to achieve your dream weight size and shape with this 3-minute. I think that's clear who it is, what it's for, how it's going to help them. I would make that bigger as a headline. It doesn't really stand out. I think there's an opportunity to make that stand out. You've gone for having the sign up form in straight away in the sign up banner. I think that's something that is worth testing. So if, for example, you've launched, you're assessing the conversion for a few weeks, there could be an opportunity to test it without that sign up form in the main banner, just because sometimes you want people to read through, really understand how it's going to help them before being presented with that sign up form. So what is the Boost Weight Loss Assessment? Is created by award-winning fitness professional. It's designed to deliver personal insights. Yep, so this is all the credibility piece. So that's nice. We're going to answer a few simple questions and you're going to receive a personalized report. That's nice. So yep, good copy. We've got the credibility of the logos. We've got a how it works section. So nice and clear. We're going to take the assessment. We're going to get your results and then you can plan your next steps. And we've got this lovely image of what you're getting at the end. Get your free personalized assessment and discover where you are on your weight loss journey. Yeah, I really like that. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, just have a think about this one up here and just getting that heading to stand out. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a good idea in terms of developing a landing page. When you actually are in the platform building your landing page, you'll find in the landing page editor, if you click on add a section, loads of different section types that you can use to build a landing page similar to the ones we've seen. So you can go through, have a look at all the available sections, start to add them to create a structure, and you can move them around. So if you hover over it, you've got some dots so you can drag and drop them into new positions. And then you can style them. So once you click on to the right of my screen, this is where I'm going to be able to change all the colors and the sizes and the formatting and so forth. Okay, so that's how to develop the landing page. So let's imagine now we've got this fantastic landing page and your target audience is going to go, yep, I like the sound of this. We are going to take the scorecard. So if you've got the sign up form before the questions, they will then go in and enter their details. If you want to add any fields to this lead form, you will find that under settings, there's an option called lead form. You can add fields, and that's also where you'll find your data privacy settings as well, and you can add your privacy policy and so forth. So I've filled in the form, I press start, and I'm going to go through the questions. So these are the ones that I selected during the AI setup process. So they flow through your questions, and then we get the results. We call this the results page that appears immediately after finishing the questions. So let's talk about the next step, which is questions. And if we go to the questions builder, we've got down the left-hand side, the ability to see our questions, the ability to see our categories. Now, if I wanted to see which questions are sat under which category, I need to go to the settings tab at the bottom, and I need to change my view to group by category. So when I go back and I look at my questions now, I can see which questions are sat under which category. If I wanted to add categories and add questions, I'm just going to pick the relevant section, so categories, and there is an option there to add a category. So it's just as simple as giving it a name and pressing save. If I wanted to add questions, I go to my questions view, and you can see at the bottom here is the option to add a question. Now there's different question formats. So there's a yes, no, maybe question. And if you're adding your own, the best practice in terms of scoring is to award points to the positive answer. So a really simple way is if I asked a question that said, do you sleep more than 8 hours a night? The positive answer here is yes. So I'm going to give them a point, and the negative answer is no. To the right of your screen, there is 2 tabs. One of those is answers. So if you select that, you switch the scoring on, you can then choose which category that new question is going to sit under, and then you can award the points. So that's how you attribute questions to categories and start to handle the scoring. Now, the next question format were versions of multiple choice. So I could ask the same question, but I could give them answer options. So please pick from below the amount of sleep that you get. Here, I'm going to award points in strength of the answer. So the top answer is going to be that 8 hours. They're going to get 3 points. Then anything below that is going to be, the next option is going to be 2. The next option is going to be 1. And if they say less than 6, they're not going to get any points at all. Then we have varieties of scales. So for example, this is what a linear scale would look like. And you can change this. So you can make the scale however big you'd like it to be. This does score slightly differently. So however big that scale is, how many points are available. And wherever they place themselves on that scale is how many points they've achieved out of 5 in this particular case. We then have an open text question, which is great for gathering some more data. It's not a scored question, but can be valuable in terms of gathering insights. And we have an image question as well. So this one, you can add your images and get people to select the one that resonates the most, and you can award points in terms of the strength of which image they've picked. So that's a little bit about how the questions are scored. I'm going to go into the logic, but first, it's just talking about number of questions and question styles. So the easiest questions for people to flow through are yes, no questions. As long as you're keeping them factual, you're not asking anyone to go off and check anything. But it's also quite nice to add some different question formats in. So you might have a mix of different question formats that can help to keep it engaging. Also, there might be some questions that just suit a particular format the most. The main thing is that we're looking at it in terms of a nice flow. We want to keep that engagement. We want to keep people on their toes. If you had a quiz where they could just click yes, maybe think about swapping them around. Actually, the positive answer in one case is no, because that can really help as well. As I mentioned before, we would recommend fewer questions for colder audiences. The guideline is 3 categories, 12 questions. If you're going for slightly warmer, it would be 4 categories, 20 questions. And if you are using this tool with your existing customers, there is really no guidance in terms of questions, because it's just going to be what you need in terms of the data that you need to gather. Now, the scoring will work. It will add up the total amount. So across all of the categories, all of the questions, so how many points are available. And it will also add up the total points available for each category. For example, in sleep, if we had, say, 10 questions in there, and that category as a whole was worth 100 points. Now, the person completing it scored 25 out of that possible 100. So the platform converts that into a percentage, and it says you've scored 25% for this sleep category. And where this becomes important is the score tiers. So we're going to leave this question area now, and you will find your score tiers under settings, and it's called score tiers. So 25% would get me into this low tier. And then when it comes to the results, I can say, oh, you've scored low for sleep, and this is what we recommend. Now you can change these. So these are the default settings, but you can change the labels. So you might want to make that low label focus needed or support needed, for example. You can add tiers, change the colors, change those percentage ranges. So you've got that flexibility. So this leads into delivering the results. So we're going to have a look at the results page, and we're going to open up the version that the AI generated for us. So now we've got a donut, we can see our scores for each of the categories, and we've got some overall score content. We've also got the score against each of our 3 categories, and we've got an area for our call to action. This is very similar to the landing page. So remember how the AI generated us this version, and then we wanted to go in and we wanted to put all our value and make it look fantastic. And this is very much the same for this page. The landing page is creating the value or letting people know about the value, and the results page is where we're going to deliver that value. We want people to think, oh, this is really helpful, so that they want to take that next step and they're interested to take that next step. So my advice on developing the results page is, firstly, have a look. If you go to add a section, there are different ways to present this overall score. So you might prefer the spider diagram or the speedometer or the thermometer. So have a look through. Now we want this ideally to be dynamic. So if you look to the right of my screen, we've got a dynamic content toggle. We can switch that on, and now we can tailor the overall scored content based on whether they scored low, medium, and high. And this is nice to do because it makes it feel personalized and tailored. You can say to people, look, don't worry if you scored low. This is an exciting time to get ready for moving up to the next level, for example. So use that dynamic content if you can to acknowledge their overall score. I might also in this section just go over the importance of it, how it's going to help you. And I might also start to include, and if we can support you, check out and put in a link. So a small section here, acknowledge their score, just go over why it's important, start to link it to the call to action. Now, in the categories, you can see we've just got a sentence here currently. And the good thing is that the AI has already enabled dynamic content for the category, so it's slightly different. But here, I would go in and really optimize this. And what I would do is I would describe the category. So I would put in, if it was sleep habits, what good sleep habits are. I would then acknowledge their score. So I would say, this is an area that you need to focus on if they've scored low. And because they've scored low, I'm going to give them some tailored tips, which is linking back to the questions I asked. So make sure you don't go on technology before you go to bed. Make sure your room's cold, for example. Whereas if someone scored high, I know they're doing the majority of those things. So I'm going to say, you just need to keep this up. Maybe, I can't think of any advice if you're sleeping well, but I'm sure there is some. Yeah, so that's how you do the tailored relevant tips. But this content's going to develop. Again, if you look under add a section and you look under the categories, there's 3 different formats you could use in terms of presenting that overall score content. And if you are doing an outcome or a personality style, you will need to use the individual category results sections. So if you use a section like this, you can actually say, set the rule to display the highest score only. You've got your 3 different outcomes below, and you can just tailor each one, and it only shows people the one that they've scored highest in. So the next section is the call to action section. And I really want this to start to stand out now and flow. So I often use a heading such as what's next or next steps. Now that you've got your results, let's book in a session together where we can spend 30 minutes going through your results and setting you off on your way with an action plan. And there are different sections that you can use with images, different styles that can really help to make that stand out from a design point of view. So if you look under banners, I will quite often use this particular section as my final call to action. Anything that's got a button in it, because when you click on that section to the right, you will find a button link box, so you can put the URL for the next stage of where you want them to take them to. So we see quite often the opportunity to book in a call, so it could be your Calendly link that's going in there. We see join the community, or they're going to download a resource, for example. So you might have 2 call to actions, that's fine. But yeah, you just add the section type and then put the link in the button link box. So that is a structure of a typical results page. If you are on the Pro package and you have the PDF report, that results page might become more of a snapshot because you want to put the detail into the PDF report. So it might give them a quick summary and it'll say your full PDF has been emailed to you. Now, in terms of the PDF, you will need to create this from scratch. My advice would be start without a template here because all of the different page formats are available. And I'm just going to spend a moment just showing you what a typical structure of a PDF report could be. It can be as long or as short as you'd like it to be. If I click on add a page, you would have your front cover. Then under general content, you could have an introduction, and it might be an introduction to your business. It might be an introduction to what to expect throughout the PDF. Typically, then we would show them their overall score, and each page can be dynamic, so different based on which score tier they fell into. Then we will show them a summary of how they scored in each category. And then the next stage is starting to drill down into each category. So if you had 3 categories, we're going to have a page that describes the first category. We're going to have a page with hints and tips on how they can improve their score. And then we'll do that for each of those 3 categories. We also have lots of different pages available for call to actions because you're going to want those throughout. So it could be access this resource, it could be book in a call. And you might also want to inject some testimonials in there, and then you'll find your outro page as well. So that's your typical PDF structure. If anyone's got any further questions about that at the end, please let me know. So just thinking about the journey so far, your target audience have seen your landing page, they've entered their details, they've gone through the questions, they've got their results page, they've got maybe the PDF if you've got that aspect. Now the ScoreApp platform will fire off the first result email with a link back to either the results page or the PDF. So you'll find that under settings and it's called result email. So you can personalize that here. So if you've used the AI, just check because it adds its own merge fields. So we just need to check they're all valid. If you don't want it to come from ScoreApp, you want it all to come from your CRM platform, that is also possible. So you can toggle the results email off from coming from ScoreApp. Now, that is the items that we need to create. I'm going to move on to talking about promotion now. So our scorecard looks fantastic. It's all up and ready to go. So we want to go and start to tell people about it. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my slides. We have got a really detailed document called 29 different ways to promote your scorecard, which Sarah's going to share in the chat. So please have a look through that because it's got so many different ideas. I'm just going to go through these top level ideas and I'm going to show you where you'll find some of these on the platform. So the first thing we recommend is to embed it on your website. So I'm sure you've all been on sites before where you've encountered a take the quiz, and it can be a great way of capturing the details of people that arrive on your website. Now, in terms of embedding it on your website, if you go to this share icon on the blue left-hand toolbar, you've got 4 different options for embedding. So you can click on the relevant one, you can get the code that you need to organize the embed. This leads me on to talk about links for your scorecard because it's the URL that you're going to need to use to drive traffic towards it. If I go back to the builder and settings, you can see my URL is here. Once you're on the starter package, you're able to tailor this element of it. So it could be fitnessquiz.scoreapp.com. So once you've tailored it, you will then share that URL. If you're on the business package upwards, you have the option of using a custom domain name, which you can come up to your account and you can find under domain. So you can organize that there. Now, I'm going to share one of the co-founders of ScoreApp is Daniel Priestley, who's also the co-founder of Dent Global. So this is their homepage. And if you scroll down here, they have a banner that says discover your influence score. And it's essentially the link for the scorecard sits behind that button. Now, it could be that on the nav bar up here, you have an option that says take the quiz. So when you click on it, you come through to your landing page, and then you'll go on to take the scorecard. So that's all about embedding there. Now, number 2 is email signature. So Mike Reed, who's also the co-founder of Dent, we've got an example here. PS, have you taken the key person of influence scorecard, and a link to take the test? But this really links to anything that leaves your office. So we've seen customers who have done flyers with QR codes that you can hand around to drive traffic towards it. You can actually get a QR code for your scorecard also on that share icon. This little icon on the end here, if you click on it, there's a QR code that you can use to drive traffic towards your scorecard. So you've got email marketing. So if you've got a current list, you can mail it out to your current list. Great way of re-engaging people on that list. And you can also direct message it. So I know we had, apologies, can't remember your name, but someone who was in the early stages of setting up a business. And for example, if you went down that waitlist approach, you could commit to sending a certain amount of direct messages a day to really start to get that constant flow of traffic and start to build that list. Number 3 is social media. So we would recommend that you put the scorecard link in your social media profiles, that you post about it regularly, and you can also use it as the call to action for other posts. So even if it's not directly related to the scorecard, it could be a PS, have you taken the scorecard? We do have an AI marketing assistant tool on the platform that can help you in creating those posts. So you will find that under share. You've got your suggested social post that you can copy and paste into the relevant platform. What I also recommend that you do is if you go to the build icon and settings, there is an option called share appearance. So if you enter a title, a description, and an image, this controls the way it looks once it's shared on social media platforms. So if you went into LinkedIn and you just typed in the URL for your scorecard, it will display in line with what you've got entered here. So that helps it to display really professionally. We've then got podcasts, videos, blogs, and books. These are all essentially content that you are producing. You can use the scorecard link as the call to action. So it could be that linking the scorecard in the show notes of a podcast. It could be that you're linking the scorecard in a YouTube video or at the end of a blog. It could be that you are an author and you've got the link to the scorecard in the book, or that you're using a scorecard to ask people to register for the book or promote the book. We've then got events and workshops. We used this scorecard to register you for today's session. And what's great about that is that we get to know a little bit about where you are in the process before you join us and what you're really hoping to get out of this session. We've also got Zoom integrations now, so you can schedule it all to fire off the Zoom links. Now, number 7 on the list is joint venture partnership. So that's also an organic way that you could potentially share your scorecard. So we've seen it work really well where if you've got like-minded communities where you can mutually benefit to leverage each other's assets, such as audiences, lists, that will help to promote and share your scorecard. Number 6 is going down the paid for advertising route. So you could run ad campaigns, and that could be on the channel that's relevant to your target audience. So it could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, for example. So they're your top line promotional elements. Now at the other end, once somebody has taken your scorecard, I'm just going to show you what happens. So I'm going to move to a different scorecard for this that's got some dummy data in it. We've got this leads icon here. So if I click on it, I can see that's my list of leads that have taken the scorecard. I can export this into a CSV file, but what the majority of our customers will do is integrate with their database. So you can see the integrations that are available here. Once you've selected your platform, you can connect by entering your API, and then it will open up options for you to map across. So you can push across the name, the email, any other fields you're collecting, all the questions and answers, all the scores, and that will help you to plan your tailored follow-up sequences within your CRM. If I go back to that leads list and I click on this lead, this will also show me their scores, which is great sometimes for just seeing how many points you've got and just checking in each category. Then you can see answers. So this will show you all the detail you need if they're on a sales call with them, for example. And we've got this AI marketing assistant feature. If I click on it here, this will actually produce a sales email that you can just copy and paste and send that's relevant to how this person's scored, or it will help with a sales call script. So best practice in terms of follow-up, if you're requesting a phone number on the lead form, could be that you yourself or you have a team of appointment setters, they do a follow-up call within a certain amount of time after taking the scorecard. When you're talking to them, it makes that conversation warmer. So have you just got a few moments to talk about how you recently completed the scorecard? And then you can identify, for example, something they've scored well in, and then on the other end, something that presents their biggest opportunity, and you're able to pitch the solution for helping to improve that. So it could be a sales call, and it could be also the tailored follow-up sequences as well. So once they get that phone call, they then will receive all the other emails in the funnel. And it's all really about building that relationship with them. So there might be several sort of interactions. So it may be that they take the scorecard, and then the next opportunity is that they're invited to a webinar, and then they might get a copy of the book, for example. So it's having those planned in order to build and develop that relationship, which will look different in terms of the product or service that you're pitching at the end. But I hope that sort of is helpful. What I wanted to just let you know, if anyone does need to go, is that we have a fantastic support team at ScoreApp. So any questions at all, please reach out to us, support@scoreapp.com. We've got a live chat facility. We also have a Facebook community. So if we often have our customers who post their links asking for feedback, so that can be a great place to pick up some hints and tips as well. And then finally, I wanted to mention that we do have an affiliate scheme that we'd love you to be part of. So under your account at the top, you will find a referral section, and everyone has a unique referral link, and it tells you all about our commission structure. So if that is of interest to anyone, please go and take a look. Okay, thank you guys. Really lovely to see you all here today. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day, and I'm sure we'll speak to some of you soon. Take care. Bye.